Hello my crafty friends, how is everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I have a flip through of this cookbook junk journal today, and it was fun creating this, and someone has asked about it, so it's going to be reserved for her in my eBay shop. And if anything happens with that purchase where it doesn't go through, I'll let you know, but as of now it's reserved. But yeah, I put this pretty bow on it because it's a similar or almost the same or pretty much the same color as the pink in the book, but it's a bolder, brighter version of it. So I just thought that was real pretty wrapped around there. So it doesn't really need a closure, but I did want to put it on there anyway. So, and this is the goodie pack, which I'll talk about at the end of the video. But let's get started with a flip through. So I wanted to leave the original cover as is because it's just, I just love these covers. These, if you've never seen these before, they come in different colors. I've done a couple, at least one, maybe more, with a red cover also. And I've done, where this green part is red. And then, of course, the other colors all match that red background. And then I've also done one with a yellow. All very pretty. They have a similar items on the covers, the little teapots and bowls of fruit and things like that. So, and the words "my recipes." But all of them that I've had, well, if I've ever found one in like terrible shape, falling apart, just really grungy and old and disgusting, I didn't buy it. So all the ones I've ever bought were in good shape, and this one is also in good shape. I did clean it and all that. So this is a little cookie cutter in a shape of a house that I just clipped on with a little paper clip there and some baker's twine. I just thought that would be fun. So let's get started inside. So the person that reserved this, so they wanted the original inside the covers left. So that's what I did. And they are quite charming with all the little utensils here and the charts. Here's the back. So yes, quite charming, and they are in good shape. They weren't like, coming off or anything. It's got some wear and patina because of I don't know, being used maybe, or just being around so long in the world. but I did clean them off, and they weren't, like I said, the paper wasn't coming off or anything. So they are actually very charming. So the notebook rings were in good shape. So I've added a lot of different things here. So as you can see, let me show you real quick besides I've paper clipped some things in, so you can see my decorated paper clips there. And then I also have as charms a little, let me see if I can pull it out where you can see it here, kind of tucked in between the pages, but a little spoon, like a little, I don't know, whatever you want it to be, a teaspoon, a measuring spoon right here. I don't know, it's so small, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's right here on my hand. Little silver spoon. And then right here I have a little glass. This is also a charm. It's a little, say, glass of juice. I'm going to call it pineapple juice or something. So just a little glass there, yellow glass. So 2 charms. So let's get started. And you've got that cookie cutter on the outside there. And so the first page here, I used a little this pinkish or rosy pink scrapbook paper to match this, even though it's not the same pink, of course, but it is in that color, pink hues. And it has gold foil apples on it, which there's vegetables and fruits and things on the cover too. So that's why I use this here. And then instead of gluing one of these down, which I thought one of these would be really pretty here if somebody wanted to, or the person that's getting it wanted to put one of these here, they could, or they don't have to. They can use it to decorate other things, but in the journal or wherever. But just 2 little pieces of ephemera here that I just clipped on and I did that quite a bit throughout. Just put in a lot of things that she can use to do what she wants with, if you know what I mean. But I did lightly decorate a little bit too. So here, clipped on this side of it, this is that first page still, and it flips open like that, And I do have clipped on here one of the, like I put in the last one, but I glued it in as a pocket or a tuck spot in the corner, so that's what you can do with it if you want. But it's a little coaster. And then here are some recipes. Everything in here is original, no printouts or digitals. So a little recipe from something here. A lot of the little pieces like this I've gotten at estate sales. So I have a lot of little just random recipes and things like this. This is Sakatumi cake, so made with Duncan Hines butter recipe, golden cake mix. So there's a couple more on the back here. And it's just a paper recipe. I don't know what from, but I think stuff like that is really cool. Just, you know, a recipe someone saved along the way, and here it is now in this journal. So this is a menu, and it flips out here because I didn't want to cut it, and I think it's fun like that. So on this side, where it has the printing, I have a little apple sticker right here and a little label right here. Make sure you can see. I've got my camera up as far as about as far as it can go. So let me just tilt you a little bit. There we go. Maybe that's better. A little label right there. And then on this side, I have some trim. And the trims are all picked out too to match the colors that are going on in the cover. So I have that pretty, like a GIMP trim there. And then this is a little page from a tall, skinny recipe book and a little tab there. This is one of the envelopes from, oh no, this is not the envelope yet. This is a divider page from this cookbook. And you can see I left it in its original condition. There's a little tab there. And then on this side, I did add some trim. And then I have clipped recipe card. And a page from another, like a long, narrow. The other one I just showed you was this way. So it was vertical, and this was horizontal. Another recipe book that was horizontal with, you know, long, skinny pages like that. So fun things. This one has rooster on it. Almost looks like a Mary Engelbreit type of card, but it doesn't say that on there. So, but that looks like her kind of colors and illustrations. Here's a recipe card clipped into the rings. And I added this little, okay, so I just got, you'll see it in a future video where I show you ephemera and fussy cuts that I received in Happy Mail from Mardell. And so I was able to, since I hadn't done the flip through of this yet, and was just really kind of just putting the finishing touches on this journal, use some of her fussy cuts in here. So this little bird is like I think it's a cookie jar. There's some little cookies right there. It's like a little ceramic cookie jar, and it's a bluebird. I thought it was so cute, and when I put it there, I just, the things of hers, Mardell's that I put in here, just look, when I placed them, like I would try a few different things, and just whenever I found the one that I left and glued down, I thought, oh, it just looks like it should have been there all along. It just looks like it belongs there. So this little bluebird looked like it belonged there, and I think it's so retro and so cute. I just loved it, so I put it there. Thank you again, Mardell. That was perfect timing. She didn't tell me she was sending things that I know of. I don't remember seeing it, so it was a surprise, and it was so perfect because I was literally like thinking I was done. I was just putting a couple things in, and then Mardell's package came. I was like, oh my goodness, there were so many cute things there. It was actually hard to narrow it down, but I did pick out a few fun things. So on this is scrapbook paper here. That was the divider page. And so here are, this is just a cut apart from some of my scrapbook paper. So, and then this is a handwritten recipe on an index card. Again, from, you know, the estate sales and things where I've found things like that. And then here's another little fussy cut from Mardell. This just so looked like it belonged there. Cornbread with a cornbread, you know, the iron cornbread pan. A little corn something or other there. Oh, that says cornbread mix. So really cute little fussy cut image there. They look so cute, like something, the little pieces that Mardell sent look like something you would get from, you know, if you bought an ephemera kit and you cut them out, that's what they look like. Just something you would, it just reminded me of kind of like KB and Friends, little fussy cuts, a lot of them. So, but they're originals from wherever Mardell got them. So here's some more trim here, and a little ephemera piece here that says fresh baked bread. And then this is a little page that is from some kind of organizer. It has days of the week, and right here it's a little flip out. It has a chicken or some chickens, a rooster and a chicken. It says notes right there, and then I think it was like a menu planner or something, and I had coffee dyed these, so this is coffee dyed on the back. This page is from a scrapbook paper. This is half of it, a scrapbook paper recipe book, do it yourself, where you make your own recipe book. This is half of the, like 8.5 by 11. You'll see the other half when we get to it, but this has a little spoon on it, a little spoon charm just clipped right there. So, and it has pretty pictures and lines on the front and back. This is a recipe card, a bigger one. Really pretty. All the recipe cards like this, well, not all of them, but most of them are vintage, and some of them are new. But I've found them all at thrift stores, or they were sent to me in Happy Mail. I know Maria sent me some recipe cards at one point, so because she knows I love them. So I know she had sent me some recipe cards, and I'm sure I received some from other people too. But that's a really cute one. And here's another fussy cut from Mardell. See, this just looked like it belonged there. There's green over here. When I put this green, these are like little green, shaker and salt, pepper, and butter dish. They just look like they belong there, and so pretty right there next to this green. So that's where I put them. Then here on this scrapbook paper, gingham scrapbook paper, are 2 recipe cards that have never been used. This one is white on the back, and this one lines on both sides. This has knife, forks, and spoons up there. And I'll let you, the person that gets this, I'll let her read what they say on some of them. Little serves. It just has little things on some of them. This is a little, like a chipboard ephemera piece here that I put, that I thought looked pretty with the green background. And then this is a sewing pattern, apron sewing pattern that I made into a page. So you see all the pretty aprons, and on the back, it was, I put it on to cardstock, added some, and I used this pink cardstock to match the pink in the cover. And it's a pinkish, I'm going to call it pinkish, so kind of a rosy light pinkish color. Trim here, green also to go with the colors. Chipboard cupcake piece here, and a recipe card right here. That's a pretty one. You can see the age on that one. It's got a little bit of a discoloration, how they do sometimes when they get older. That's got a little bit of that going on. But I think that's charming, and it proves that it's vintage. It's not bright white anymore. And then this is a really pretty recipe card here with these colors. Just love that. Orange custard, orange freeze. And there's recipes. And then here's another divider page from this journal. On the back, I added this little fussy cut stove that I have had in my stash for a little while now. And I thought it's time to use it, so I put it here as a tuck spot, and in behind it I just have tucked a guest check. So that's, journaling spot, or whatever you want to do with it. You can decorate it and add things to it. I like to do that, add a little decoration and do some writing on it. You can write on the front and back. It's just a cardstock piece. And then this is a little couple of sleeves here, separate sleeves that you can put whatever you want in here. They are in the notebook rings, and I just have some recipe cards in there, as you can see. And then here's another pretty recipe card here, Betty Crocker, this pretty blue dish, and a recipe for almond puff. I put a few of these pages in here because I think they're so cute. They're from a recipe book, and you write out your recipe here. It has a little salt and pepper decoration or illustration here. I think that's so cute. But lines, green lines on the front and back. And then this is I have a couple of these in here. Maybe, do I have 2 or I think I have 3, it looks like. Envelopes from the original cookbook. And I added a little stamp on the back of each one, a different stamp on each one. So I have a little set of recipe cookbook related rubber stamps, and I added one there. They all came out real nice. That says meat and main dishes on it, on the stamp. And in here, I guess I won't take everything out of here, but I'll leave these as a surprise. But as you can see, I have a lot of things in there. And well, I guess I'll go ahead and take them out because the goodie pack's going to kind of be a surprise. I'm not going to take all of that out. But this is a typed recipe here on onion skin paper. I think we worked on this, when we worked on this journal, we put a lot of these things in here, but I may have added a few things too. So there's a recipe from, saved from wherever, you know, those estate sale recipes that I've picked up. There's one there, 1969 Bake Off, a little Corningware booklet here, several fold outs on that, a little recipe here, another handwritten recipe on this paper. This type of paper comes in this type of cookbook, and 2 handwritten recipes, one here, and this one's in a little sleeve. That's how I got it, and so I just left it in there. And that's all from this envelope right here. And then a little like flashcard. This has cheese on it. There is the word cheese. This is from, this is just a piece of ephemera, really, something somebody would have thrown away. But it's instructions and things like that for a radar range. Made only by Amana, microwave oven. So there you go. Whatever year that came out. That looks like an original, like one of the original first microwaves is what it looks like to me. And the next page is scrapbook paper. So here I have clipped, this is from what I've been calling Grandma's recipes book, recipe book. And there were just sleeves like this with recipes in them. So I left the original. This is how it came out of that book with these different recipes in there, handwritten, typed, and looks like that may be cut from a magazine. And here's some like cut from a newspaper. There's 2 in here, and it looks like there's 2 in here too. So I just left that the way I got it. And oh, by the way, here's some measuring spoons. That's from Mardell. That's a fussy cut from her. Do you believe that? It's so, that looks very intricate, and it looked beautiful right there. So it is right there on decorating this page. And then on this side, I have a little folder that you can open up and do whatever you want in here. So that is glued down there, a little gingham folder with trim here. And this is a little pie, and looks like an ornament there. Or maybe it's bread. Yeah, not pie. It's bread. I think it's bread. I'm going to say bread. I'm going to comment to the word bread. And anyway, that's a fussy cut from Ardell. A little gingham stationery here. It folds out. That's the other half of that page from the scrapbook paper kit. And one of those pages I said I liked, and I put a few in here. A little cooking chart, vintage cooking chart. I love that it's 2 colors, yellow on this side, pink on this side. And so let's see what's in this envelope. And these are the envelopes, you know, that came with this actual cookbook. So in here, oh, in here I put a little booklet that I had probably from an estate sale. Little recipe book. And it just has lots of pages with recipes on it, so it can be taken apart if somebody wanted to, or, you know, do whatever. Little craft project there. It has one of the stamps on it too that I talked about. Recipe related stamps. This one says soups, stews, and what's that last word? Sauces. And here's another cool recipe card. But this one's a Betty Crocker too. I like the little background here. It's like a shelf, a couple of shelves like from the pantry. It has all kind of vintage looking cans of vegetables and things on it. So very, very cool. Got the avocado green there and a recipe. Oh, shelf service is talking about. maybe organizing or something. Another tabbed divider page from this journal, from this cookbook. I've got some trim here, and then, well, this little recipe card right here is clipped in, in the notebook rings. Really pretty one. And then I have this one clipped right here with a paper clip. And then right here in back of that, a little canning label. And it has space for writing on it. And then you have all this space here too, to put whatever. Left a lot of space, of course, for somebody to do whatever they want in here. Another one of those writing pages with the lines that I liked so much. I think I put 3 of them in here. Here's the back side of the apron pattern. Also, backed onto cardstock and made into a page. And here's it's a little circular or swirly like paper clip with the little glass on it, the little yellow charm that I was showing you at the beginning. And on this side, it's that pinkish hue of scrapbook paper cardstock. Here's a chipboard tab here. I put on as a decoration, his little cupcake. And then I have clipped on here a couple of recipe cards. These are, let's see, these are my great recipes, recipe cards. Got a couple meatballs and cheesy shells there, and almond crusted turkey cutlets. Fun recipes. And they were just clipped right here under this paper clip. And then radar range here. And this is another part of that radar range microwave oven instruction booklet. And then this is the last envelope here from this cookbook. And the stamp on the back of this one is vegetables, salads, and sides. And it has little vegetables and things in the stamps. And in here I have, we put these in here together. Some S&H green stamps that you can cut apart and make, use however somebody wishes. A little crafty project there. Looks like you use salt as part of the recipe, and a little vintage. It's a card, so you get the envelope, the little envelope, the original envelope from the card. And this little card is so cute. I think I have one more for the next cookbook journal. But here's the inside, never used. It's a little Hallmark card. And this one says, come to a kitchen shower. Little coffee grinder on the front with the flowers. I just think that's so cute. So that is in there. In this envelope. This is a recipe card here, or this is a cut apart. And very retro, spaced to right. And on this side it was all white, so I added one of Mardell's little fussy cuts here, a basket of eggs. Right here. I think that's eggs. I say eggs, but now they look like potatoes. Eggs or potatoes? Not sure. No, but they really look bigger than eggs, so that's why I'm saying potatoes. Pocket on this page. So this is the page from something. It has on the top jar toppers, potpourri press, and little information there. So I put this pocket here again with this just looks so good here. It looked like I said, like it belongs here. And this is a little fussy cut of a set of mixing bowls, fussy cut from Mardell. And in that pocket, I have a few note papers that have to do with, something to do with food or whatever, things like that. Let's get cooking. A guest list and menu note paper here, and just a pretty, food-related note paper there too. And this is actually a canning label also. This has a peel-off back, so you can stick it down. And then this was in this right here, this canning label package. This little piece of ephemera right here was in there. So I thought that was cool. I went ahead and put it in here too. It's orange, and I thought that could be a cute little journaling card or something. Little tuck spot, whatever. And then on the other side of that same thing, jar toppers, I put another pocket on the other side with a scrap from the first page. This is paper. This scrapbook paper is cardstock, and it's the first and last page in this journal. And so that was a scrap I made into a pocket, and there's 2 recipes here. This one doesn't have anything on the back. It must have been in some kind of little book that had a notebook ring or something right there, maybe. But that is in there. And then here's one too that's a little smaller than that one, and it is a recipe for a cake and a torte on this side. So those are in there. This is a divider page from another cookbook, and I put it in here because it's something different, and I thought it was so cute. It has the tab here and a little picture or illustration on this side, and on this side it has a pocket. So I tucked in there a few things. Oh, this is a fussy cut. This was the perfect. I tried or auditioned quite a few of our Mardell's fussy cuts here, and this one was so perfect. There were a couple words right here, and this one took up the right amount of space, covered the words, and it was just perfect, the colors and everything to go right there. A hot cherry pie. And yeah, the other ones were like either too small or the colors weren't right, but when I put that one there, it was like, oh, that belongs there. So, and then in that pocket I just have a little card here, a little fall related Thanksgiving card, never used, with the original envelope. And so that was tucked in there, and this also was tucked in there. We had fun with this during one of our process of working on this journal, but it's a little chart, instant cooking remedies. So you put the little brown line right there on whatever you want to figure out. Your coffee cake is dry coffee cake, it says. The helpful hint or tip is right down here, and it's very small writing, but I'll see if I can read it. Put 2 tablespoons water or milk in a large skillet. Place on, I think on the stove, or, well, I can't read the whole, I'm not going to try to read it right now. It's going to be a little bit too challenging with the fine print, but anyway, the idea is the little problem solving tip is right here. So that's really cool. And I'm sure I got that in one of my, probably, I would think one of my many things I've got from estate sales, from the kitchen, from the recipe packages and things. Another one of those pretty papers with the green lines. And this is the last page here. So we worked on this page together. This is the page that had a crease in it that I didn't want to leave showing, so we fixed it on video. But I did clip on this side. I have clipped a little booklet. I thought this little booklet was so cute. Kitchen Fun has this little chef on here. Libby's, it's by Libby's. And then you have little recipes in here. And it's just a little booklet that, I'm trying to see, does it unfold? Yeah, it unfolds. So I have lots of little things in there to look at and do things with if you wanted to take it apart or cut it apart and make some tags or something. Cute little shape, long and narrow, not too big. And this side is the flip out. So there was a crease right here, and that's what we covered up. Since this has the gold foil apples on it, we put some gold rickrack right here. And then inside, we put a little pocket. And on the pocket, I put another pocket. So in this little pocket, this is a little cut apart piece of ephemera from the scrapbook paper I was using. And it's a cow. And then that little pocket has this flashcard on it. Or it's actually a little game card, I believe. It's from the game of, I think maybe it was a matching game, but it's called Stone Soup, and this is a salt and pepper shaker. So that's cute. So that's in that pocket. And then in this back pocket here, which is from a little organizer, the ones that kind of accordion open out, and you can put things in there. And sometimes they have numbers, sometimes they have months, sometimes they might have days of the week. This one has letters. This says C through D right here. I did cut it down a little bit to fit in here and rounded the corners, so that we made that into a pocket here, and in that pocket we have a couple of cards from, these are actually from Dollar Tree flashcards, and these both have something to do with food. So this is a cake and this is an egg. So those are both in here. And then I had clipped right here on the outside one of these, like it's like a cookbook recipe, kind of like a bookmark. And it has a little place up here where you can hang it on a page, a little, clip part just built into the bookmark, and you can write information about your recipe here. But super cute. I got these at a thrift store, and you have the lines, little person there, so cute, and the little person's on the back too, and with lots of lines. So yeah, I just had that hanging right there with that little clip spot. And that is the journal. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I think I packed it full of goodies. And then I put a lot of goodies in here too. So like, I'm going to let this be a surprise for her, but I'll tell you a little bit about what's in here. So I put quite a few vintage book recipe book pages in here. I'm trying to see even what's in there. I don't even remember myself, but just all different kind of recipe pages and things to do with recipes and cookbooks and things. I see the pattern instruction paper, I think, and the tissue from the pattern that I put in here, the apron pattern. I've got some napkins in here, and this particular napkin right here has a recipe on it. And there's a lime postcard in there, napkin. There's an envelope right here that Mardell made with a few of her fussy cuts. That's right under there. Here's some pieces from an S&H green stamp book that I had cut out. And there's a couple pieces of ephemera in there that are recipe related. This little cup right here was the front cover of a little notepad. It's a cup with like some cider or something in it. Really pretty. I tied a little bow on there. There's a couple recipe type cards in there. There's a little piece of cut out of a depression glass. There might be two pieces in there that I cut out of a depression glass book, and some tickets, and that's everything I can think of. But there's probably something I missed. Oh, there's some. I believe. Oh, well, there's a piece of ribbon right there. Like this was a scrap from the ribbon I put in there. There's I think some scraps from the paper that I used in here. So just lots of things to work with. So this is all coming along with this cookbook journal. So I hope you enjoyed the making and the flip through of this one. Stay tuned. I'm going to make one more. I'll show you real quick the next one. I just need to grab it here. And this is going to be the next one. I thought this was so cute. We found this one time at a Goodwill, but it wasn't, we were traveling and stopped by a Goodwill, and it was there. I don't remember even what state it was in. I think it might have been, it wasn't Florida. I think it was maybe Tennessee or another state that we were going through. But yeah, we found it at a Goodwill, and I thought it was so cute. It's the only one I've ever seen. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, Kellogg's Recipes. I love the cover. Kind of retro look of the cover. And this one is not notebook rings. I'm going to have to take this out and make a new spine, or take that out. I thought about trying to take this out and leave the original spine, but we'll see. I probably won't do that because this particular spine feels like it's hard as a rock, and it would be hard to sew through. You know what I mean? To sew a new signature in. So when they're like that, if you sew in your signature, it's very hard to sew through a book cover that's, like hard as a rock like that. I mean, it's a nice solid book cover for the recipe book, but for making it into a journal, it's pretty much too hard. So yeah, I'll definitely be making a new spine for that, and then doing putting things in here with the colors that are in this journal, which I thought would be fun on this one too, because it has a lot of red and, probably more, it's going to probably have more primary colors in it. So that's going to be fun to see how that develops. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next project, and I'll see you then. Have a great day.